with another person.
You know what? Just to be really real, I don't have a problem with people with the judge or whoever acting like what she did wasn't that big of a deal, because it's kind of not. But the problem is that what this black woman did is not a big deal either.
Right.
But she did 5 fucking years for it.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I hate to try to make Felicity seem like a bad guy in order, because I don't want to really do that, because she's really not.
Right.
No,
She's
you're right.
not the best for a child.
Right. And I mean, she was wrong. She don't deserve 5 years in jail, but the black woman definitely didn't either.
Oh, definitely not.
You know? So I'm not trying to throw Felicity under the bus just to make a point. But yeah, that's some shit that's not cool.
I agree with you. She does not deserve to go to jail for 5 years either. She doesn't even deserve to go to jail for 1 year. I think it should be some fines type of situation and stuff like that. But I also think
community service,
community service,
fines,
whatever.
Yeah, that's that kind of stuff.
Like Tanya McDowell, I would say like a perfect way for a situation like this is you have to go to that school district, that town, and put in some time or service or something like that.
Absolutely. She's homeless. She obviously doesn't have the means to pay any fines, but let's try to mitigate something that's not extreme as 5 years away from the very child that she was trying to do something to better. I'm
trying to think just that punishment that would fit the crime.
Probation.
Well, first of all, it shouldn't even be a crime to try to, get your kid in they need to change that. You know what I mean? Like,
very true.
Either, I mean, don't make schools where they're don't allow schools to be so inequitable that people need to go on the other side of town, for their kids to get a good education.
Absolutely.
So as long as that inequity exists, then leave people alone.
But
you know what I mean?
That's all about these antiquated, like, tax laws and stuff like that too, right? Because most school districts get their money based off of real estate tax, right, or housing taxes.
I'm not sure how it works.
It depends on where you live. If it's nice houses, people pay more taxes, and the school districts are better.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
I can definitely see that.
That's definitely true.
That's also messed up.
Yeah.
Because there's somebody like me in the world who doesn't have children, and I pay taxes, which also goes to all the schools,
right?
Regardless of what neighborhood they're in. And I think my money should go to, it should be equitable.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely.
Either that or the schools with a lot of money shouldn't get my money.
Yes.
Something. There's definitely a way that they could make it more fair. So. But until then, parents that want their kids to have a fighting chance are just going to look for loopholes, So,
well, at least you can get your baby cleaned in the bucket by Dijon.
And if Felicity Huffman feels like she needs to, lie, cheat, steal, whatever, to give her kid the best chance possible, how much more so us regular folk? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, really? You think that your kid don't already have advantages? Right. Like, your kid you got to go through this. You got to break laws and stuff for your kid to have a chance. Really?
Not only to think that they're taking away a spot from somebody who actually deserves it. So they're shutting someone else out who earned that opportunity.
That is true.
And they're always getting mad about affirmative action for that very reason.
True that.
I like this. I like that comparison, Dino. That was great.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much an apples to apples situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's pretty damn close. It's not exactly, but it's pretty damn close.
It is.
And it's not even at the same. Tanya wasn't trying to get her daughter into college. It's like primary school.
5-year-old.
Yeah.
5-year-old kid.
Primary school.
Do you think location has something to do with it as well? California versus Connecticut?
I think it's probably the same.
It might. I'm pretty sure if I looked around, I could find some cases here that, even in the same state that where people are being people not of privilege are being punished more strictly for stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's also that was part of the thing, and California's trying to rectify it now too with like the marijuana laws and stuff too. Because if you let's be honest with just about, again, like how justice is meted out in this country. When I lived in Chicago, where marijuana was not legal, when I bought marijuana, I always bought it from white dudes because they could get away with anything.
Yeah.
Because I would see white dudes on the north side of Chicago smoking cigarettes, and the cops were like, what are you guys doing? But I would see white dudes just light up.
Right.
It'd be smelling weed everywhere. You could smell weed everywhere, and the cops just went right on by them.
Didn't say anything.
So I always bought my weed from white dudes. I just did. Like, and because then they want you to smoke up. Like, and if I did buy it from a black person, oh, I got it and got out. I didn't stick around the house.
Yeah.
We didn't smoke outside. We just like, if I could, if you could run it out to the car or something, that'd be great. That's just the way it is. But that's the way we just sort of accept that that's the way it is. But it's not fair. It's not right.
No.
And I think that our criminal justice system and our policing and stuff like that has always been weighted that kind of way.
Yeah.
Now it's lovely. I live in California. I'm good. I'm real good.
Except for the weed man there. Real bad.
Yeah, I'm going to start growing my own now. I am. I'm going to do it yourself. DIY.
Hello.
DIY weed.
Hello.
Make sure you read up on all the laws and everything, because they're pretty strict about what you can do and how much you can and how big the tree can be, and
no more than like 4 or 6 plants. Just like
I don't have that kind of room for more than 4 plants.
Yeah.
So, although I've started to notice that outdoor weed increases my allergies.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I get a little like my itchy nose and all that stuff like that from outdoor weed, like the stuff that they make, hydroponics and stuff like that. I never have a problem with.
Might have something to do with what they have. Maybe they have to treat it with like pesticides or something to keep bugs away.
Maybe.
And that might have something to do with it.
I think it's probably because of the insects. They come and they pollinate, and they put all the stuff on the plant, like the natural stuff that you really don't get from hydroponics because it's so clean. The air is filtered. The water is treated with vitamins and minerals to make the plant super strong and super green and super potent. So it's like a super plant essentially inside, getting the perfect amount of light, the perfect amount of wind, the perfect temperature.
Like a plant on steroids.
Exactly. It's like a plant in the perfect condition. It's on steroids versus a plant that's outside getting all the elements.
The science behind that is pretty dope.
Yeah, the outdoor air. So, yeah.
Well, I'm still going to grow it.
Yeah, no.
I'm just going to suffer.
It's better.
I'm just going to suffer.
You can grow it right outdoors. It's always better if you can grow it right.
I got the space, and Red Hulk ain't there to smoke it up. So.
Oh, my God. Thank God.
I'm getting a new roommate today, Craig. Welcome, Craig.
Welcome, Craig.
Also shout out to Matt Crabtree, who's in LA right now.
Big up, Matt.
Yeah, shout out
Krabby
to Matt.
Patty. What's up?
I wanted him to come today, but then I got mad and jealous of him because he went to see Earth, Wind, and Fire at the Bowl last night.
Ain't nobody having a groove tonight without us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
All right. I was in recovery, so yeah.
Well, we haven't talked about any TV in a while.
Awesome.
Now, I know I've told you guys about Songland when it first came out.
Right.
Yes.
Songwriting competition.
Right. I still watch it, and it's gotten even better. That show, if you like music at all, or even if you're not a songwriter, but especially if you're a songwriter, like, I don't know, I think Jason should watch the show, but Jason from Jason and Mindy,
Lana,
he probably wouldn't like it. But anyway, it's I find it incredible. I think, first of all, I think they find such talented people. I think it's amazing how they consistently find these talented, unheard of, people. And I mean, they come on here with these songs that are just ready, like polished, don't need anything. Now, the producers are there, and they're basically there to try to help tailor the song for the artist that's there that week.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, and me and my family, we that's one of the fun part of the show is kind of discussing
who the artist is going to be.
No, not who the artist is going to be, but what's done to the songs. Because there's times when, I feel like the producers really improve the song, and then there's times when I feel like they really fuck it up. And there's times when there's this one episode that aired not too long ago. It was one of my favorite episodes as far as all of the songs that were featured by they have, like I said, they have 4. They have 4 songwriters that come on, and they've even had a songwriting team once.
Oh wow!
And then 3 are selected, and it's only 1 is sent away. And 3 are selected for the next round, and that's when they go in with the producers and they basically change the song or customize the song or whatever you want to call it. And then 1 is selected. Normally 1 is selected. Will.i.am selected all 3 of his, but normally 1 song is selected. Anyway, this one particular episode though, like all of the songs, I liked them so much. When the producers got done with them, I didn't like any of them.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What were they listening to?
So but it's a very interesting show and very odd. So I recommend it if you kind of like create, and it's different from the Voice and American Idol and those things, because it doesn't feel like they have as much of the. There's not all that production there to add to the competition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's not a whole lot of there's like
propaganda.
There's a brief little interview, about each artist before they start. You get right to their song, and then they get right after the song. They have their notes or whatever, and then afterwards they show them whatever. But there's not a lot of gimmicky stuff. Like they don't like. American Idol, a lot of times they would intentionally put people through who were bad, so people would laugh at them, make fun. There's none of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? There's none of that, and it's a really fun show.
And which network does this come on?
I don't know.
NBC.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I never know networks.
It's on NBC, and you can watch on Hulu too.
Okay.
Another show that I highly recommend is Mindhunters.
Oh.
On Netflix.
Okay.
The second season just dropped about a month or so ago. I just finished it. Really good. Now, the first season, I tell you, it starts off a little slow if you're not. So you have to be into serial killers. If you're into serial killers or profiling and stuff like that, you'll like this show.
Okay.
What?
I started to watch it, and you're right. So thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, it starts off slow, and it's based on.
I gave up.
Facts. Well, it's based. Okay, so the story. Or the show is based on a book by John E. Douglas, right? Which I read. Okay, it's called Mindhunters. John E. Douglas is the guy who basically is like the godfather of profiling and the BSU unit at Quantico of the FBI.
The sweaty guy. He's kind of short, pasty. Okay.
Well, I'm talking about the real life guy.
Oh, okay.
The real life guy.
Okay, I'm talking about the guy on the show. The guy he plays.
Yeah. The guy the young guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who he's based on John E. Douglas.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm still talking about real life though.
Okay.
so anyway, so Johnny Douglas is that guy who is the father of, modern, psychology and all that kind of stuff and profiling and all that. Yeah, it was so this story is about that, about his life and the introduction of it into the FBI at the early stages in the late 60s, early 70s. That's what this show is about. So it's super interesting to me because I like that type of stuff, as you can tell, because I already read the book about it.
Right.
So I already knew the story. And they stick pretty close to reality. Like, they use all the real serial killers' names, and mostly everything happened pretty close to, how it happened in real life. One of the things that didn't, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's something in the second season that did happen in real life, but the way it happened in the movies or the TV show, it happened a little different than that. But it is an actual thing that happened. So I'll tell you guys about that maybe, when the third season comes out or something, or after, because I don't want to spoil it.
Because I got like 3 episodes in, and it was a little bit slow.
It's the first season is pretty much going to be pretty much like that. The whole, like I said, unless you're into that type of thing, you're going to find it slow.
The reason why I started watching it was because you talked about it, and then I watched the preview of it, and it was so intriguing, and I was like, oh, I'm sold. But it was just I wanted to get to the part when he started talking and profiling,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just a little